everybody. Welcome to another episode of Two Strike Noise, your favorite-ish baseball history podcast. I don't want to be presumptuous, but I'm assuming it's probably your favorite. But I am one half of the show. My name is Jeff. Welcome, the other half of the show, the always well-dressed Mark A. Johnston. Mark, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great, man. Today I'm wearing my purple tuxedo.
Oh, is it velvet? Crushed velvet, I assume.
It is crushed velvet.
Nice.
I've draped myself in it.
Oh,
it feels great.
Well, it's socially acceptable from what I hear.
My wife doesn't mind. She doesn't care how I look, you know? One of those things.
When are we going to just do the Seinfeld episode? We just really need to do it because we just can't help ourselves.
Maybe AI can help us write it.
Oh, yeah. Well, if that's the case, my job became a lot easier. Can we just have that happen? Yeah. Hey, welcome, everybody. It's our first post-season, like post-season, I guess, because the postseason's over, but now we're beyond that. All baseball has ceased on the higher echelons of baseball. The Texas Rangers are first-time world champs.
Congratulations.
And believe it or not, the Colonel can rest easy because the Hanshin Tigers have broken the curse of the Colonel and have won the Japan series this year. So congratulations.
Yes, we were all going to go out and celebrate. Mitch was going to buy us Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, that's very nice. Now, I do have a bone to pick, though, with these Hanshin Tiger fans. There is a picture of a celebration after their win here, and it's by the river. There's a bunch of people there, and some numbnuts has dressed up as the Colonel, and there's a picture of him jumping in the river. Why are they playing with fire like this?
They're tempting fate.
35 years. They're like, yeah, let's do it again. Or was it 38? Whatever. It's a long time. And here this guy's just willy-nilly dressing up like the Colonel and jumping in.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I am very superstitious. I'm not justitious. I am superstitious. So, well, good luck to you, Hanshin. I was rooting for you. And my boy Sheldon Noisy,
Yes.
Former Athletic, hit the go-ahead home run in Game 7.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right, Mark. Well, we've already started BP. Let's get right into it. Mark, if we have brought up one thing on the 231 previous episodes, more than anything else, it's got to be Jimmy Hoffa, right?
Oh, man, we can't stop talking
about it. It's either
about
Seinfeld or Jimmy Hoffa. Well, get this. A group of cold case criminal investigators believe that they have located his final burial site, and it is located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, what?
Underneath where the old Milwaukee County Stadium was.
Wow.
So apparently a dying police sergeant, scribbled instructions on an Ace of Spades playing card. It had to be. I mean, this seems a little sus, but we're going to go with it. That helped lead to a investigation, the old site of Milwaukee County Stadium, the Ace of Spades playing card, which is said this police sergeant wrote on his deathbed, and he was involved in Jimmy Hoffa's kidnapping. So this is like a deathbed confessional. I can just imagine they're handing him like a notepad. He's like, no. They're handing him like a Etch-a-Sketch or whatever the thing we used to write, and then you could lift it up and it would go away. And he's like, no. And they're finally, get him an Ace of Spades. And he's like, yeah, there it is. It's gotta be.
I hope he had a Sharpie.
Oh, yes, it is. It's a Sharpie. They believe that Hoffa's body lies in a spot under where the demolished stadium's third base line previously stood.
Wow.
They brought in a top cadaver dog, let it go. They didn't just lead it there. They kind of let it go in the area, and it went to the exact spot where they think he is located and exhibited a positive signal several times at that location.
No kidding.
Yeah, so the group used old aerial photographs, GPS satellite images, and then they ran ground-penetrating radar over this location 3 times. The operator's equipment, though, was not able to detect beyond 5 feet below because, according to these people, a, quote, unexpected clay layer blocked the radar, which they believe suggests a dig had taken place there and was, quote, hurriedly excavated and then backfilled, end quote. Yeah. I'm trying to get a hold of Geraldo Rivera. I believe he's already on site and ready to go to dig this up.
He's going to open it up and see what's in there?
Yeah. So, who knows?
He's done that before. I heard he opened up his rear end and tried to find his head.
Oh, wow. Ouch. Wow, that's pretty racy for this podcast. I'm not gonna...
I said rear end.
What was it before that he opened up? Some of
Al Capone's
vault. That's right. It was still interesting. I mean,
I agree. I actually enjoyed that show. I was disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone was when he ended up with like a bottle. That was like it's a Coke bottle.
And it wasn't even laudanum, you know?
Let's see some other stuff here. Mike Gallego. I like to talk about Mike Gallego. Of course, I don't really care for the Rickey Henderson story where during contract negotiations, he said, if you're going to pay me like Mike Gallego, I'm going to play like Mike Gallego, because that's pretty derogatory.
Yeah.
Mike Gallego was a huge part of the A's success in the late 80s, especially in 89. I mean, he was a Swiss Army knife in the infield, a great defender. He was one of those guys you have to have on a good team, right? He's not going to hit home runs.
Gallego he was the guy that could step up and be a player in any situation. You know, he was a part player, and you went wherever you sent him.
Yeah, he could bunt, which was still, I mean, with those, those Bash Brothers teams, not a lot of bunting, but he could bunt, could play anywhere defensively. I believe Chris Berman called him Mike Gallego, which is actually one of his better ones, I think.
Yes.
But this is a story from 1989, the World Series, of course, the Earthquake World Series. And this is a story that I found, a quote from Gallego. It's a couple of sentences. I'm just going to read it here. So this is a quote from Mike Gallego. Quote, I could literally hear rumbling in the locker room, which was underneath the stands. All of a sudden, the whole place started shaking. This is obviously a Candlestick Game 3 when the earthquake happened. He said, the legs of the chair I was sitting on were literally coming off the ground. I'd been in some earthquakes before, but nothing like this. Someone on the clubhouse staff was yelling, this is an earthquake. This place is coming down, which got to be a little scary. As soon as he said that, the power went off and it was pitch black. We're all trying to get out of one door that led to the parking lot. I got about halfway to the door, and then I turned around and went back to my locker. Everybody thought I was crazy, but I was going back for my glove. But I just kept saying, hey, you guys can hit, but this is what got me here. End quote.
So true and so funny.
I understand it. I mean, especially infielders are very peculiar about their gloves. And
absolutely.
And he's right. That, we just said it. That's where he made his living, right? Was being a defensive guy. But I thought that was funny. He went on to say in the 1990 World Series, they're doing the starting lineups for the first game, and they're standing there, and he's standing between Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire. So Gallego, who was listed at 5'8", he says he's 5'6". He came clean.
Diminutive.
6'4", Jose Canseco. 6'5", Mark McGwire. He's standing between them as the starting lineups are being announced. And you know how the cameraman is down on the field and he's just going right down the line, showing them as they're announced. Well, apparently, and I don't really remember this. I've got all these on VHS tapes if I can find a VCR. The cameraman, when they got to him, went right over his head because he was standing between these two huge roided up guys. And so he's pointing up, and Mike Gallego, he would have had to point the other way. So I thought that was pretty funny about Mike Gallego. Good guy.
Introducing Mike Gallego, and there's just a blank.
Let's see. Ichiro is back at it again.
I saw that.
Yeah, so it might have been last year, if not 2 years ago. I mentioned a story here in BP about Ichiro pitching against girls high school teams in Japan. And he is doing that once again. But apparently, he is also, it sounds like, hiring himself out to teach high school teams. I'm not sure he needs the money. I'm not sure if he's hiring himself out or if he's just saying, hey, if you need my help, I'll go help some of these guys, some of these teams.
Ichiro strikes me as the kind of guy that's going to be involved in it all around baseball for his entire life, as much as he can.
Yeah, and I also kind of get the feeling he's not hiring himself out. I'm guessing he's going and doing this because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he did all right monetarily here in the States.
Well, and I think his in Japan, I think his just off the field stuff might have even paid him more than what he got paid on the field.
This is true.
Regardless, he was at one of these high schools, and he's just taking some BP. You know, swinging the bat, showing everybody, maybe giving some lessons and stuff. He hit, and I hope it wasn't just some high school kid throwing BP. I hope it was an adult, because he hit a 426-foot home run that traveled over the protective screen in left field. I think it was left field. I saw the video. And it broke a window in the school on like the 4th floor. And this was not tempered glass that is meant to have something hit it and not break. This was just a regular pane of glass. The room that he broke the window in was actually holding a math class at the time as well.
How many home runs is that for Ichiro? Do the math.
Or, yeah, let's see. You can see where he hit it from and where it landed. Let's calculate the exit velocity and the angle. Go. This is your final test. Hopefully nobody got hurt. I'm assuming nobody.
Quiz, if you were.
Yeah. Pop quiz. Got it. Also, shoot the hostage. That's always the other answer for pop quizzes.
Gotcha.
No, it's a speed reference. That's still nothing?
No.
Yeah, you don't like speed?
I don't use it.
Well, all right. Well, you can join us on the Sandra Bullock podcast that we also do when we talk about Speed 2 exclusively. And what a great one that was. I'm a little concerned here, Mark. Fantasy camp's coming up, 63 days away from the time that we are recording this. Of course, Stephen Vogt has already been named Cleveland Guardians manager for next year.
Yes.
You
predicted that.
Yeah, I was hoping it wasn't going to be this year, but the Mariners have lost their bullpen coach. They're going to have to find someone new. But just breaking news, this has not been confirmed, but I've seen a couple of social media posts. Ron Washington is being hired as the Angels' new manager.
Oh, wow.
He is the keynote coach this year. We're supposed to be at A's Fantasy Camp.
Oh, okay.
So I was just texting one of my buddies. I'm like, we're going to end up with like Jack Cust and Ryan Healy as coaches or something. And he came back with Derek Barton. I just don't know who's gonna be there. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, well, if they come back with a 25% off coupon, not to have high expectations.
You know what? If they want to give me 25% back on what I've paid to go to fantasy camp, I will happily take that. That's my wife would be even happier. But just saying,
maybe it'll be Ozzie Canseco,
but it'll actually be Jose. Like the conspiracy theory that they switched uniforms and Jose would, despite the fact Ozzie had no home runs and was an awful hitter the short time he was in the big leagues. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a better boxer.
Yeah. And you know what? Jose has been a coach there before. I don't know if he can come back and do it again or not. But regardless, all right, let's get into trivia. We started this up last week. We're in the off season now, so we're back into trivia. And it was about somebody that we talked about last week because he had passed away, Frank Howard. The Capital Punisher is my favorite one. Let's see. The trivia question was, during a 1-week stretch in 1968, Frank Howard hit 10 home runs and 20 at-bats, and then 13 home runs in 16 games, a mark that has been equaled but has not been bested. My question was, who equaled that? Now, you've had some time, Mark. I've seen some answers roll in, some correct, some not. Have you? Do you have any kind of guess?
Well, if I really don't know, so I would just go with the guy that hit the most home runs, Barry Bonds.
It's a great answer. Not the right one. Not Mark McGwire. Not Sammy Sosa. Not Ken Griffey Jr. None of these people. It was Albert Bell in 1995.
Okay, I would not have got there.
No, you would have eventually, right? When you're just going through prolific home run hitters, you're going to get to Albert Bell. He was
definitely one of them.
Yeah. So I've found, and I do apologize to our listeners, I had not checked our Facebook page in quite a while. I don't go on Facebook that often, and I've been busy and traveling, and I apologize. It does look like Brian Krause, one of our longtime listeners, and somebody that thrives on our trivia questions because he gets it right every darn week. So if anybody else did and I have missed your message, I apologize. Let me know. I will make sure to acknowledge you in a future show here. But I think we should institute something new this off season, Mark, with trivia. I think maybe this is up for debate here. If a listener correctly answers 3 trivia questions in a row, they get to come up with the trivia question.
Oh, I like that.
One that takes some work off of my plate. Not gonna lie, is a big reason why I'm proposing this. But also because Brian had sent us a trivia question during the season, which is a great trivia question. He has not sent me the answer, as far as I can tell. So, Brian, I'm going to really need you to send me the answer for next week. But this is the question he came up with. We're going to use it because he got this week's question right. Since 1954, there have been 5 Major League Baseball games that have been forfeited. 4 players played in the first 2, but only 1 was involved in 3 of those 5. Who was it?
Weird.
Now, he did give us a note here that the last forfeited game was Disco Demolition Night, which we've covered, and I am actually going to mention later on in the show. But that occurred prior to the game, but this player was in the first game of that. Remember, that was a doubleheader. So he played in the first game. The second game never was played that night, so couldn't say that he was in a forfeited game. There we go. 5 forfeited games. 4 players played in 2 of them. 1 played in 3. Who was it? And I don't know. So I'm going to have to think as well. But Brian, please, if you could shoot me the answer, that would be great.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you is absolutely correct. All right, Mark, it is one of those weeks. It's Tales from the Dugout.
Oh, yes.
I believe this is number 36. It's been a hot minute since we've done it. Tales from the Dugout, I think.
They're popular episodes.
Yeah, and I frankly like them because, again, less work for me.
And for me, it's the ADHD. Yeah.
You don't need the long attention span. So I'm going to start off with one here. Kind of a short, I've got some short ones today. But first of all, I want to just say Charlie Finley. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You said it.
Of all the awful A's owners, he is one of them. Not number 1, mind you. That is John Fisher, who I would punch right in the face if he was here right now.
See if you want to come on the show.
No, I don't want that. I don't want him on the show.
You could punch him.
Well, if he comes in person, yes. It's not going to be much of a show. It's going to be me punching him and then me being arrested on a podcast. But
what are you talking about? That's a heck of a show.
Well, and I guarantee I'd be bailed out in 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Ace fans would be right there
3
for
seconds, yeah. But let's see. Finley had a lot of ideas. I didn't say a lot of good ideas. I just said Finley has ideas. 1971, the A's are just a season away from beginning their back-to-back championships runs. Their attendance numbers, though, not good. And frankly, they look kind of like the last couple of years. They're averaging just over 10,000 a game. So old Chuck decides he needs to get some butts in the seats. And when I say butts in the seats, I mean literally butts in the seats. So this genius comes up with a promotion, Hot Pants Day. It's going to be held during a doubleheader against the Royals. Every woman who comes to the Coliseum in hot pants gets in for free. So, did this creep fest work? Of course it did. It's 1971. Over 35,000 people showed up for this. I mentioned they were averaging just over 10,000 per game. So for this doubleheader, 10,000 women alone showed up in hot pants. There's a lot of hot pants. But the total attendance was over 35,000. That means that the A's almost tripled their average attendance in just creepy guys alone. As if the hot pants thing wasn't enough to draw guys' interest. Guess what they were giving away on Hot Pants Day, where women get in for free if they wear hot pants?
Matching blouses?
Nope. They were giving guys free cameras.
Oh my gosh,
that is awful. So and I said I was going to mention, just when you thought Disco Demolition Night was as bad as it could get, Charlie Finley. I mean, this was before Disco Demolition Night, but let's just pretend that he knew it was going to happen. But what's worse than Hot Pants Day, you might ask? Well, it's that other teams saw this and were like, that's a great idea. Let's do it here at our ballpark. And so they did. The next season, the Rangers, they of the 10-cent beer night, another postponed game. Hey, look at that. Maybe that's a clue. Because I'm pretty sure they started that game before. Yeah, because, they got the tackle at first base. Yeah, okay. So put that in the bank when you're remembering the trivia question. They held a Hot Pants Night of their own. Now, I saw video from the A's. They just had video of the thing. It was not good. I found some interviews that were held during the Rangers version of this, and I'm going to play you some of it, and I'm sorry in advance.
Most attractive hot pants at Arlington Stadium tonight, and I thoroughly agree. It's quite an honor, right, Nolan?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any idea that you might win when you came out tonight?
No, I didn't even want to come. I thought it was going to rain.
We had a lot of pretty girls here tonight, and you won out over all of them. How do you feel about it?
Flabbergasted, to say the least, but I'm really excited about the whole thing.
Miss Williams won the Hot Pants Award for the oldest contestant in the contest. Miss Williams, how old are you?
72.
So you don't mind coming out showing your legs with the new fad in hot pants?
I don't like it. My husband made me.
Jeez.
Again, I apologize.
Husband was saving $5 apparently.
If that's not the cringiest, creepiest thing we've ever played on this podcast, I don't know what it would be. But Charlie should have really just stuck to yellow baseballs and paying bonuses for growing mustaches.
I can't believe they actually had a contest.
I can't believe they did interviews. I can't believe they had the foresight to have a award for the oldest woman in hot pants. All right. So
very strange.
Yeah. All right, Mark, what do you got?
Well, I was checking. I was watching some horse racing the other day. The FanDuel came on. You know, the FanDuel Sports, official gaming company of Major League Baseball. It struck me as, okay, well, it used to be MGM. 2018, it was MGM was the official gaming partner of Major League Baseball. And, you know, it's still going on. They're still talking about, you know, hey, here's the betting line. You would win this much if you bet this much. And this baseball now, you know, kind of intertwined with gambling. And it wasn't always that way. I mean, I'm not talking about the
Shoeless Joe.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the 8 Men Out. Interestingly, in 1979, Willie Mays, just inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was the New York Mets hitting instructor. And since he was up in the Northeast, Bally's Park Place Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City hired him as a goodwill ambassador. Shake the hands of the people, show up at corporate events, charity events, that sort of thing. Not a full-time gig. Bowie Kuhn, who was the commissioner at the time, not a fan. Did not like that going on. And he said, and I quote, "A casino is no place for a baseball hero and Hall of Famer." So guess what? He banned Willie Mays from baseball. Yeah, Willie Mays. Hey, you can't go shake hands at casinos, okay? So then what happens after that is, I mean, he's still working at the casino and so on, but and just for what it's worth, sports gambling was not allowed in New Jersey at the time, so whatever. 4 years later, Mickey Mantle was approached by the Claridge Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. He was mostly going to make appearances at golf tournaments and charity events. He took the job. It didn't matter to him, to Bowie Kuhn, that Mantle was just, you know, shaking hands and raising money for charity. He put him on the permanently ineligible list. Mantle said that was stupid, and boom, Kuhn banned him from baseball. And so now Mantle and Mays banned from baseball. Mantle had a good quote. He said, "People have this picture of me standing outside the casino yelling, 'Come on in and gamble.' But my job is I do things for the March of Dimes and the Special Olympics. You know what I do is really not bad." So, but no, Bowie Kuhn didn't care. And his ineffective leadership, if I may say so, continued in baseball until they brought in a guy named Peter Ueberroth. Peter Ueberroth in '84, he had spent the previous 5 years leading the LA Olympics and actually turned a profit on the Olympics. I believe that was the first time the Olympics had ever turned a profit. And investors got money back. So they hired Mr. Ueberroth to replace Bowie Kuhn. One of the first things that Ueberroth did in 1985, he said, I'm reinstating Mantle and Mays. They're off the permanently ineligible list. Two of the most beloved and admired athletes in the country today, and they belong in baseball. Thank you, Peter Ueberroth, for bringing them back. And I don't know what Bowie Kuhn was thinking, but we did get the legends back into the game after a few years of shaking hands and welcoming people to golf tournaments.
I remember Ueberroth. I would say that Bowie Kuhn, not the worst commissioner, though. That's got to be Rob Manfred. But all right.
Kuhn was pretty ineffective, but then there's Manfred.
Well, Manfred's been effective, but just in bad ways. And again, my A's I'm just so, it's, yeah. All right.
Yeah, it surprises people to find out that Mantle and Mays were actually permanently ineligible for baseball for a few years. It's really weird. Now we are completely intertwined.
Yeah, I mean,
baseball's completely intertwined with baseball.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Mark? I mean, there are whole broadcasts of games that are being proposed that would just be betting broadcasts. Mm-hmm. What I do for my full-time job, part of it is I'm dealing with these casinos and online betting things to display live odds at venues for professional sports. There are sports books in these venues now.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a little bit different than, the 8 Men Out. It's a little bit different than, again, I think you and I are both on the same page that we believe that Shoeless Joe did not throw the 1919 World Series.
Neither him nor Buck Weaver.
I obviously some of those guys did, but I don't think that all of them did. There are people in sports, there are athletes now that are getting not bans, but suspensions because they gambled on games in their sport.
Yes.
But they're just slaps on the wrist. You're going to miss 50 games. You're going to, be right. Half the season of whatever. But I mean, money talks, eh? I mean, that's the whole thing behind it.
Well, I wanted to talk about why it's not as big of a deal anymore. And part of it is who owns the casinos. They're all corporate now. There's no mob involvement, so you can't really see corporations going up to baseball like a star and saying, hey, we need you to throw this game for us. In the same manner, baseball players are also making $30 million a year. What are you going to bribe them with?
Yeah, it's not like they're taking the subway after the game back home and then in the off season, they're a butcher to make ends meet.
Right.
So yeah,
Charlie
absolutely.
Comiskey was they're not paying him Charlie Comiskey money. Not anymore.
All right. I got one more quick one here before we get into Wax Packs Heroes. So remember a while back, Mark, I told you the story of a game at Dodger Stadium where a bag of flour dropped from the sky and landed in the outfield during a game. And to this day, nobody has a single clue where it came from.
Yes. Well, I have a theory.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think D.B. Cooper threw it.
He was still in a plane up there, and he'd run out of money, so he just was throwing bags of flour that he happened to have on board.
That's right.
All right. Well, something similar happened in Japan in 2016, believe it or not.
Okay.
The Yakult Swallows, who were hosting the now champion Tigers, Vladimir Ballantyne, former Mariner Vladimir, with a W.
Vladimir with a W. There you go.
Yep, Vladimir. I love to say that, Vladimir. The Swallows left fielder, or as the article I read was calling them, the Yakult Swallowers, which I don't know if that's dirty or if they were just thinking the Yakult, drink, they were swallowing it like
people
they were drinking it.
Eat and then swallow food.
Yeah, I don't know. But, well, Vladimir's out there in left field, and a fish dropped from the sky and landed near him.
That's quite a leap.
Yeah. Now, this is not a goldfish, but this is like something like you see them throw over the counter at Pike Place Market in Seattle. It was a pretty good sized fish. So Ballantyne calls time. He leaves his position. This was apparently a very smelly fish. So strong, in fact, that he could no longer stand real close to it where he needed to in the outfield. Plus, he didn't know if somebody was flying over the stadium throwing fish at him or not. Legitimate concern.
Happens.
Yeah. So remember the Muppet who was a clown, I think? And he would always carry a fish with a boomerang fish.
Boomerang fish, yeah.
Oh, I love that one. So the umpires come out there and they all stand around it staring at it with arms crossed, hand on their chin looking at this, like a bunch of bureaucrats looking at a pothole, all having great ideas how to fix it, but nobody moving to do anything about solving the problem. I watched video. It was like fan video of this, and they're all just literally standing around there. A couple of players are coming and looking like it's a poisonous snake, like they'll get kind of close and then they pull away and go the other way. Finally, a bat boy comes out with one of those things you sweep trash into. You've got one in one hand. It's got like a little scooper thing that flips up when you lift it up, and then a broom in the other one. You see maintenance people using them. So he comes out there and tries to sweep a fish off the outfield grass into this thing, which of course takes forever because sweeping a fish off grass is probably not what these things were made for. There were probably better tools. But just like the sack of flour, nobody knows where this fish came from. Might have been D.B. Cooper. We don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't thrown out of the stands. The theory is that maybe a fish had just grabbed a meal and was flying over the stadium and butterfingered it. And just dropped it there and was too embarrassed to go down and pick it up. I don't know. But just imagine if it had landed on Vladimir's head.
Yeah,
that would have. Oh, he would have made highlight videos for forever with that if somebody had caught it. But
there's got to be a joke here, and I cannot think of it.
Well, that'll be next week's trivia question.
Okay.
Give us a joke. All right, so that's going to do it for our Tales from the Dugout segment. Mark, it's time to head into the final segment before we can get out of here. It is time for the segment that, it's Wax Pack.
Pack Hero, all stars in his eyes. Wax Pack Hero, gonna pull a Wax Pack Hero, all stars in his eyes. On a podcast tonight.
All right, so if this is your first time or you haven't heard the rules for a long time, hang in there. We're coming at you. If you're an everyday listener, just hit that fast forward button a couple of times because it takes a minute. What we're going to do, we're going to open up some baseball cards. We're going to take the WAR from Baseball Reference for the year of the cards. We're going to add those up. Whoever has the most at the end of each pack is going to be the winner. Currently, if we look at the scoreboard, it is 13-11. I am in the lead. I've got this sewn up. We're playing to 20. I might not even play my stars today. I might be a bullpen day with position players pitching. I'm so confident. But we're going to do that. We're going to add those up. A couple of extra rules. Anything on the player's face on the card, that means glasses, mustache, eye black, Brady Anderson sideburns, all those kind of things. Extra 1/10 of a point for each. We can award an extra 1/10 of a point if the mustache is really top notch and thick like the one I am currently growing. Also, if we can see real stirrups, meaning we see the sanitary socks as well, that's an extra 1/10 of a point. But 2-in-1s are a minus 1/10 of a point if there was an award won in the season of the card, meaning Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, MVP, All-Star, or a Gold Glove. That's a 1/2 a point for each. If there is a Hall of Famer on the card, whether they are the focus, if not, that is an extra point. If Ricky Henderson or Nolan Ryan are on the card, I get 5 for Ricky, Mark gets 5 for Nolan, regardless of whose card. Any pop culture references we can easily find, that'll be an extra 1/2 a point for each, unless they have appeared on Seinfeld, The Simpsons, or Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Then you get a whole point because that's a lot of baseball going on there. We're each going to also pick a team, and if either of our team shows up in either pack, we're going to get an extra 1/2 a point each. So Mark, who are you going to pick for this week's team?
In honor of the World Series champions, the Texas Rangers.
All right. I am going to go, I'm going to go with the Nationals/Expos. How about that?
That's fair. Okay.
And I just say that because the Immaculate Grid is keeps coming up with nationals, and I keep using expos, and it's my favorite thing. Or as some of our listeners will point out, the Immaculate Inning does that. So also, if they've appeared in the Mitchell Report or was suspended at any point during their career, that is a minus half a point. Now, I should mention that today, a little bit different than our usual. We've done this before. We've got a couple of packs of minor league baseball cards from 1992. Now, the way that we handle this is we are going to, if they make the big leagues, we're going to take their highest WAR year. Hopefully, we'll get some points. So, Mark, I got a pack in my left hand and my right hand. Which one would you like?
I'm going to go left.
Left. All right. I'm going to have you go first. So here we go. Obviously, these are minor league teams, but if our club that we mentioned is their affiliate, that's how we're going to get points that way. But your first card is a guy that I believe said that he was a better center fielder than Ken Griffey Jr. My favorite description of him came from the late Skip Carey, who said he would make a cup of coffee nervous. It's Chuck Carr.
Chuck Carr.
Chuck, I've got a fast car. Is that, did I make that up, or is that an existing one?
Tracy Chapman reference.
Yeah. Let's see. Chuck Carr obviously played in the big leagues. And let's see, WAR-wise, his best year was 1993, where he came in. This was considered his rookie year. He had a cup of coffee that he made nervous, apparently, 3 years prior. 90, 91, and 92, he played in the big leagues, but not enough to qualify. Came in 4th in the Rookie of the Year balloting. In 1993, led the league in stolen bases as a rookie with 58. Also with caught stealing with 22. Hit 267, a 327 on base, 4 home runs, 41 RBI, and a 74 OPS plus. And that is good for a WAR of 2.0.
2.0 is solid in this game because sometimes you get zip.
Definitely. Let's see. He's got a mustache here. Interesting. As a posed picture, he has got a very high hat on. Like, I think this could be the hat that Abraham Lincoln wore that to the theater that fateful night. It's very high. Like, a conehead could wear this and look normal. But he's bunting. So good for him on
nice.
that. He is playing for the Arkansas Travelers, who was a Cardinals franchise at this point. Well, at one point was traded for Juan Gonzalez, but not Juan Gonzalez. So.
Different Juan. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wow. Chuck Carr passed away November 12th last year. Almost 1 year ago. All right. So good start for you here with these cards. Next, we've got with the Birmingham Barons, also where minor leaguers had hi hats at this point. Not the drum, not a drum hi hat, but just high caps. Let me say that. It's Caesar Bernhardt. Again, not a name I'm making up. So Caesar Bernhardt did not make the big leagues. He's out of San Pedro de Macorís. So you can't walk off the island, but apparently you also can't walk just up to the big leagues, I guess.
I guess not.
He played in AAA a couple of times. Also played in the CPBL and the Mexican League. So he kind of played all over the world, but did not make it to the big leagues at any point. So you are going to get a point, though, because you got a mustache. So you get a 10th of a point there. Get that going. All right.
No bonus points for being Caesar?
No.
I found a Bernard Caesar Einstein, which was the name of Albert Einstein's son. How weird is that?
It's strange, but still not worth any points.
Just, okay. I'll try anything.
All right. Next, for the Charlotte Knights, who are a Cubs franchise at this point, Chris Ebright.
I think I'm getting 0 here. Not Chris Everett.
No, it's not Chris Everett.
I was hoping.
Yeah, again, no major league experience. Did not make it above Double-A in Charlotte. So Charlotte was a Double-A team back in this time in 1992. Played for 5 seasons in the minor leagues. Did not make it up to the big leagues. So nothing going on there for you. And let's see. Let's look at this card. I'm going to say he's got real stirrups on. They are very close to his sock, but being the expert on stirrups that I am, I think I can conclude that those are real stirrups. And they're in his pony shoes, which there is something you don't see anymore, right? Pony baseball spikes.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Moving on, your next card, a member of the Knoxville Blue Jays. It's Greg O'Halloran.
I believe I used to collect that guy's cards. I have a feeling he's not going to have the best WAR.
Well, do you want another one?
Another Greg O'Halloran?
Yeah, because I've got one of his cards right here.
No, I'm good.
All right, well, good news for you. He made the big leagues in 1994 with the Fish, the Florida Marlins. His one season, he appeared in 12 games, 11 ABs, 2 hits, 182 average, 1 RBI, and a minus 10 OPS plus. And that'll be a minus 0.2.
Nice job, dude.
Listen, he made the big leagues, bro.
I know, but he didn't help me, so.
No, and he's wearing a very high hat again. I don't. What did they? What was with this? I want to know why the high hattedness. I don't.
It was the fashion. Like Lou Piniella never bent his cap. It was just like a.
Yeah, but that's in style now, though, right?
Is it? I don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can set action figures on that thing. It was so flat.
All right. Let's see. So that is going to take you to a -2. You're at 2.1. Your next card is wow, this guy's got some big arms going here with the London Tigers, the Detroit Tigers Farm Club. It is Ivan Cruz. Ivan on a sea cruise, baby.
Yeah, I don't remember Ivan. A lot of cruises.
Yeah, so wow, looks like he made the big leagues. Played for 4 years in the big leagues.
Oh, wow.
Came up with the Yankees in 1997. Then he played for the Bucks in 99 and 2000, and then the Cardinals in 2002. 2002, he played the most in 17 games, so not a lot. Let's see, he did have one single year where he was positive in the WAR. That was 1999 with the Bucks, where he had a 0.1 WAR. So at least it's positive. Something. Only 5 games, 10 AB. Wow, we went 4 for 10. Pretty good with a home run, 2 RBI, and a 172 OPS plus. Which still only leads to a 0.1 WAR, but he does have a mustache on here. So like he's wearing it, but he has a mustache on his face. Let me say that.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's see. Your next card is a stadium card. So
nice.
I'm going to guess the WAR is not going to be high on this.
Don't doubt it.
Let's see. It's Memphis, Tennessee. And this is Tim McCarver Stadium. Honoring a native son in 1978 by renaming Blue Stadium after the 21-year big league veteran and TV announcer Tim McCarver.
So don't I get Tim McCarver stats?
No, but it does say this. It was the site of Bo Jackson's pro debut. Yes. So this is where the Memphis Chicks played.
That's right.
All right. So you've nothing there. You're at 2.3. Next, we have got for the San Antonio Missions, who are a Dodgers AA club at this point, Greg Hansel and Gretel.
It's an old buddy of mine. Greg Hansel. We had the same taste in music back then. We listened to a lot of Morrissey and the Smiths.
Oh, okay. I was going to say bad taste is what you shared, but no.
Well, we did listen to a lot of metal as well, but.
Well, no, metal's good. Right, yeah.
We used to, it's back when it was at the times where Nirvana was big and alternative is what we listened to alternative music.
All right. Well, that's good. So he played for 4 years in the big leagues, one with the Dodgers, one with the Twins, one with the Brewers, and one with the Bucks. Of those 4 seasons, he had 2 that were minus 0.1 and 2 that were a positive 0.1.
Okay.
So you don't even have to choose because you're going to get a positive 0.1 regardless.
Hansel was Mike Piazza's roommate in the minors. And he said Piazza loved to blast Metallica.
Now that we know Mike Piazza is a big metalhead. Always has been.
Yeah.
Let's see. He was traded with Bobby Ojeda for Huey Brooks at one point. Also involved in a trade that included Ron Coomer, Mark Guthrie, Kevin Tapani.
Wow.
He was with the A's at one point in the minor leagues and was traded for Shane Mack.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go. And you know him and gave us a nice little fact about him. So
yeah, that's funny.
He was also went and apparently played for Hanshin in Japan.
Oh, nice.
Do you think he gets a ring for this for them winning it this year?
Everybody affected by the curse should get a ring. Yes.
Let's see. Wow, he played for 3 years in Hanshin, 2000 through 2002.
Must have liked it there.
Yeah, it looks like the first year he went 7-8 with a 4.34 ERA. The next year he went 5-13, but his ERA was 3.49.
Okay.
And then his last year he went, he only appeared in 5 games, so maybe he was hurt. Oh, that's good. That's fun to hear. Yeah. Nothing else in the cards can help you out, though. Next, we have got for the, the Wichita Wranglers, the Padres AA club, Jay Gaynor. Jay Front Gaynor. Isn't a gainer like a type of dive in diving?
I think so.
Yeah. Played a year in the big leagues, 23 games, 1993. He went 7 for 41 for a 171 average, 244 on base, 3 home runs. I'm going to guess they were all in Colorado. 6 RBI and a 57 OPS plus, which is a WAR of -0.4. So not good. He's wearing a high hat, no mustache. And these are all pose shots, so they're all from the waist up, unfortunately. So we don't get can't see any stirrup action going on. Oh, let's see. Hit a home run in his very first pitch of his first major league at bat.
Yeah, nice. You only get one of those.
He did something good with it. Also played in Mexico and Italy. So you're down to your final card here, Mark. You are at 2 even. You were up close to 3 at one point. But
My first guy paid 2. 2.0.
All right, here we go. It is a pitcher for the Orlando Sunrays, the Twins AA club at this point, Rusty Richards.
Sounds like a wrestler. Like a jobber, you know?
Jabroni. Big time here. He and the Brooklyn Brawler hang out a lot, I guess. Let's see. He played for 2 years in the big leagues. He only got into 3 games. But, hey, you were in the bigs, bro. 89, right. 2 games for Atlanta, and then 91 game for Atlanta. Let's see. His best WAR, in 90, he had a -0.1, and in 89, a 0. So
good, a 0.
So that will keep you right at 2 even. But I mean, it could be worse.
Could be worse. There could be a snake in the trash compactor.
Well, I mean, you didn't take a negative there. Nothing else that's going to help you on this card or anywhere else. So
okay. You're going to get some AA legend.
Well, I mean, you got a 2 even, which I think might be our lowest score ever.
We're not playing well.
Well, like I said, I'm supremely confident. So here we go with my pack. All right, so here we go, Mark. I'm going to start out with a member of the Knoxville Blue Jays, who you can probably guess who they were the minor league club for. I was going to say Roberto. It's just Robert Perez.
Robert Perez.
All right, so Robert Perez played for 6 years in the big leagues.
Nice.
Let's see. He played for Toronto for 4 years and then split time between Montreal, New York, Seattle, and Milwaukee. The rest of his career, his best WAR season. Wow, he had a -0.9 WAR season in here.
Wow.
His best WAR season was a -0.1.
Nice start.
Yeah, well, and there's nothing on this card that's going to help me. Wow, he looks facially a lot like Adrian Beltre. Like a lot like Adrian Beltre. But let's see. Yeah, a -0.9 with the Expos. That's that's not good. Let's see. In that year where he did have the -0.1, it was with the Yankees in 2001. Oh wait, no, because he split time between the Yankees and the Brewers that year, so he had a -0.3. So his second best season was a -0.2. So I'm going the wrong way. Those are his first 2 years. Either his first 2 years with Toronto. Does not help me a whole lot.
He has the nickname El Hombre Historia, the history man, because he has several all-time records in Venezuelan baseball.
All right. Yeah. There you go. No Rusty Richards, but all right.
Yeah.
All right. Next, I have got for the London Tigers, Brian Cornelius. Didn't he host Soul Train?
Yeah, that was him.
Yep, there it is. Definitely the host of Soul Train. Did not make the big leagues. Overall, spent a good amount of time in the majors kicking around. Also played in the CPBL a couple of different years, as well as the Mexican League and the Northeast the Northern League for Quebec, the Capitale de Quebec. Wow, he's played in a lot of Canadian cities. Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, West Manitoba, Quebec, London. He might be a Canadian citizen at this point. He is from Guyana.
Oh, really?
I don't think there's a whole lot of baseball players from Guyana.
Probably not.
Just taking a stab in the dark here, but yeah. So I'm still at minus. He's got a mustache. Yes.
There's some positives for you.
I just halved my score right there. All right. Next, we have got a pitcher for the Canton, Akron, Cleveland franchise. I'll say it that way. It is Jeff Mutis. The great Mutis, right? The wrestler used to spit the green mist.
Spit green stuff, yeah. Mutis. How do you spell that?
Mutis. It's like mucus, but different.
Yeah, pretty different.
Let's see. Mutis, 4 years in the big leagues, 3 with Cleveland, 1 with Florida. His best WAR season, is a minus 0.3. To go along with that, he had a minus 0.4 and his first 2 seasons in the big leagues, he had a minus 0.6. But they still, he's a lefty pitcher. There you go.
Okay.
All you need to know, left-handed pitcher.
The scores are reminding me of the days we used to look up our cards in Beckett.
Yep. This is pretty, wow. He was a first-round draft pick by Cleveland in 1988 as well. So that might be another reason why he got the chances that he got.
Yeah. After he retired from baseball, he completed his economics and business degree at Lafayette, making the dean's list.
Economics? Is that like Robin Yount?
Pretty much.
Mark, I love you. I'm just
economics.
I have to make fun of you. All right. So the great Mutis is there. Next, we have got for the Wichita Wranglers, the Padres AA club, J.D. Noland. Not hitting a whole lot here, are we?
No, not on this one.
JD never made the big leagues either. Although he did get to Tacoma in 1995 with the Mariners.
Huh.
After that, though, he was done. At age 26, he was done with baseball.
That one I don't remember.
So JD, now a motivational speaker, author, business owner, entrepreneur, life confidence coach, and NLP practitioner. I am not sure what that stands for.
Want to make something up?
No, because it says had 28 years of spiritual scholarly. I can't say that word. Scholarly research. Don't want to step on anybody's toes there. He is mastering the 6 pillars of life.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, if you living his best life there. He's got a wife and kids. So, all right, JD. This one might help me right here. That's me tapping the cards here. When you hear that, by the way, that's my homage to Dave Letterman, I guess. Remember when Top Tens, he always tap those cards. I do that a lot. But here, pitcher for the Wichita Wranglers, Tim Worrell.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you might have hit something here.
Yeah, this might be our first big card here. Tim Worrell, 14 years in the big leagues. 5 with the Padres, 4 with the Giants, 2 with the Phils, 2 with the A's, and then parts of a year with the D-backs, Cubs, Cleveland, Baltimore, and Detroit. His best WAR season, 1996 with the Padres, a 2.8.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, remember I was at minus 0.4. So
that's right.
I have overtaken you, but I have been heading backwards quickly. Let's see, 1996, he went 9-7 as a reliever. It's a lot of decisions. In fact, that was the most decisions in a single year for his entire career. 3.05 ERA, 121 innings in 50 appearances. So he wasn't closing. Looks like he was almost a long middle reliever. 109 hits, 99 strikeouts, a 131 ERA plus, and as I said, a 2.8 WAR. He was traded for Don Wall, which I read as Don Paul at first and got excited. I used Don Paul, by the way, in an Immaculate Grid this week.
Nice.
Very proud of myself. Very low score.
I'll bet.
Yeah. Brother of Todd Worrell. I think Todd would have probably even gotten me more.
Yeah, I think so.
June 13th, 1997, both he and Todd earned a save that day, not for the same team, obviously, becoming the second pair of brothers to do so on one day. Who was the first pair?
I do not know.
It says Diaz brothers, but I'm waiting for the page to load. Guessing it's not Edwin and... So there's two brothers with the last name of Diaz that both had a save on the same day as well. That's our trivia question for 2 weeks away. All right, next for the New Britain Red Sox, Jeff McNeely. Not Jeff McNeil, Jeff McNeely.
Mr. McFeely.
Speedy delivery.
That's right. Anybody that picked up that reference, you are old.
If you understood that reference, you probably have a bad back and knees. Let's see. Jeff McNeely, he's got some major league time. 1993 with the Boston Red Sox. 21 games. He hit .297, 409 on base. He went 11 for 37, a double, a triple, a ribby, 6 stolen bases, no caught stealing, and a 109 OPS plus. And that is good for a WAR of .2. And he's got a mustache, so that'll be a .3. What happened here?
Yeah, seriously, he had a pretty good year.
He was traded in 94 by Boston to St. Louis for Luis Alicea. He did not go and play elsewhere, like overseas. So he had that great year in Boston. Then next year, he spent it entirely in Pawtucket. In 95, he was in the St. Louis. As I said, he was traded for Alicea. St. Louis AA at Louisville the entire year. And then in 96, he went from Louisville and Midland, and that was it. Didn't play anywhere else. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. He runs the Charlotte Megastars Baseball Club, where he has helped over 350 players receive baseball scholarships.
That's cool.
That's good for you. Good for you, Jeff.
I like that.
Like your first name. So I'm at 2.7. I've got 3 cards left. That's a little much for me. I'd prefer just to have one. All right, so my next card here is with the San Antonio Missions, who was a Dodgers farm club at this point, and it is pitcher Bill Benet. Now, we have been for the past 10 to 15 minutes trying to find out who this guy is, because his last name is spelled B-E-N-E, so we're thinking, is this a Billy Bean or Bill Bean, of two of which we can think of that are pretty... I'm guessing a lot of our listeners know the two Billy Beans that we are thinking of, but no, his last name is pronounced Benet. He never appeared in the big leagues. He was a first overall draft pick for the Dodgers, or first round draft pick for the Dodgers in 1988. He's a pitcher. He's got a number 1 draft pick rookie card even from Topps. I don't want to tell you too much because this guy is going to have to be a story in the next Tales from the Dugout.
He's got some interesting stuff about him.
He is an interesting guy that has been in trouble with the law, and we'll tell you why next Tales from the Dugout. I think
beats all you ever saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day he was born.
Well, maybe not since the day he was born, but yeah.
Oh, those are the Duke brothers. Never mind.
Those Duke boys. But point being, he did not play in the big leagues. He doesn't have anything on this card that is going to help nor hurt me. So I'm going to stay at 2.7 with 2 cards left. All right. Next, we've got a guy for the Orlando Sunrays, which is a Twins club at that point. I have never seen this before. His first name is just J. Period. Not JD, not JR. This isn't a Mr. T situation where that's his last name. It's just J. Owens.
Not Jayhawk Owens?
It's not Jayhawk Owens. That's a good pull there. Old catcher for the Rockies.
Yes.
Let's see. Jayhawk Owens is, of course, who Baseball Reference wants me to look at. And I don't think this is the Jim Owens that died or that was born in 1934. Wow, I don't know. He might be in the witness relocation program because at no point on this card does it give me his full name.
Weird.
This guy does not exist. So if you just type in J. Owens into Baseball Reference, you get Jerry Owens, who made his debut in 2006. You get the aforementioned Jayhawk Owens. You get Jim Owens, who played from 55 to 67. Judge Owens, who presided in 1943, and Jack Owens from 1935.
Probably none of those guys.
Yeah, this guy is a ghost. He must have joined the CIA or something.
Yep, all reference has been scrubbed.
It really has. He has done he's done the thing that nobody else can do and completely removed himself from the internet.
Crazy.
All right. Well, nothing on this card's going to help or hurt me, and that takes me to
I think that's a -9 if you're not on the internet.
It's going to take me to my last card. Member of the Shreveport Captains, a Giants club at that point. I don't think we had a Expos, Nats, or a Rangers this entire thing. Pitcher Dan Carlson. Wasn't he the big guy on WKRP in Cincinnati? God, we are showing our age. Again, if you got that reference, you're probably taking some silver vitamins every night.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dan Carlson appeared in the big leagues. 4 years in the big leagues, 2 with the Giants, 1 with the Rays, 1 with the Diamondbacks. Not a whole lot of games on any of those. His best season was a 0.0 WAR. I like that.
Now you got to be happy with that.
Yeah, because the other 3 seasons, -0.2, -0.3, -0.4. So I will take that. Briefly played for the Dragons in Japan, appearing in 2 games. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 1/3 innings. And requested a leave of absence due to illness in his family. But they said, instead, we're just going to release you.
He got his leave of absence.
Yeah, he did.
Just a really long one.
So there we go. That is going to be it. And that is going to be a 2.7 for me. Which, I made fun of your 2 even. But I didn't do a whole heck of a lot better. But my cockiness paid off. And I will take the win. 14-11 is where we stand now on the leaderboard. So, yeah, these AA cards aren't great. I'm not going to lie. The AAA cards
have to fire our manager here.
Yeah, the AAA cards give us a lot more names we recognize. So
it's worth a shot.
Yeah. So we're going to mix it up a little bit. All right, so that's going to wrap up this edition of Wax Packs Heroes. Also going to wrap up this week's episode. I'd like to thank everybody again for joining. You can find out how to get a hold of us. Look at the show notes. There's a bunch of ways you can do it there. I need to remember to start looking at our Facebook messages. Again, if you know the answer to this week's trivia question, or if you asked the question and have not provided me the answer, please do so immediately. But beyond that, we just look at an email address, Mark.
Yes, 2StrikeNoise. Spell it out, TWO strikenoise@gmail.com.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Hope everybody's enjoying the off season, or if you're just like us, patiently, well, not so patiently, just staring at the calendar, waiting for spring training to start next year.
That's right.
Yeah, that'll do it. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you on the next episode of 2 Strike Noise.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.